Soul Calibur is a weapons-based fighting game released to the arcades in July 1998 and in the following year ported across to the Sega Dreamcast. This is one of the first times the home version would be both superior in content and graphics. The term arcade perfect would become a thing of the past, as Sega's 128-bit box would finally have a game to showcase what the future would look like in graphics. Now, not to take anything away from the game's predecessor, I also have a lot of love for Soul Blade on PS1, but Soul Calibur took everything about that game and built upon and improved every aspect. The story in the game is your typical fantasy epic outing, as a cast of various different warriors from around the 16th century duke it out to claim one of two legendary swords, the evil Soul Edge and its light side counterpart, the Soul Calibur. The lineup of the characters is brilliant and they all look the part with some great design choices, from Mishkurugi's samurai getup to Safitiev's Valkyrie Greek warrior digs and even Volder's straps. Interesting fact, did you know in the South Korean version of Soul Calibur, Mishkurugi is replaced by an English swordsman named Arthur, that even has his own dedicated ending. I would have shown you Arthur in action, but as you can see, when I try and run Soul Calibur on main, it is all messed up. You have two main attacks with your weapon, a vertical attack and a horizontal attack, a kick button and the guard button. Guard impact technique can be used to parry oncoming attacks from your player. The attacks themselves feel like they have real momentum behind them. As players attack, a well-placed kick or a horizontal slash will be enough to break the flow of your opponent's attack, giving you the flow to unleash some devastating combos and grab moves. This is all the more evident in the multiplayer. Barring Mario Party, Soul Calibur is definitely the runner-up in games that will make you want to punch your friends in the face. The musical score is in keeping with the game's theme and has some brilliant tracks on it. But if it's not to your taste, I'd recommend pairing it up with a Highlander soundtrack because you will literally feel the quickening. The footage you were seeing was from the Xbox One, capturing the 360 version of Soul Calibur, which is lacking a few features. This is the footage from the Dreamcast version, hooked up directly to my Dazzle. There's plenty to do in the single player modes on Soul Calibur, but it's the multiplayer that's always really stood out for me. I've played this game in multiplayer so many times over the years, we've come up with weird traditions, like the ultimate defeat being getting beat by Volder, just because it's weird and cheap, and the only way to counteract this is to also pick Volder, resulting in a Volder-off. The graphics for the Dreamcast version totally hold up today. This game looked fantastic back then and it still does now. The arcade version, however, running on this slightly beefier PS1 hardware, starts to show its age, looking more like Tekken 3 on PS1 than anything on Dreamcast. The arcade version uses the namco 12 board. The lesser polygon count has a certain charm to it of its own. It kind of looks like less good PSP graphics. The Dreamcast version is the main event by far if you're going by a visual standard. This is the literal point where the home console took over. I suppose you could say Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast kinda marked the beginning of the end for the arcades. The Dreamcast version will set you back £10 in CEX, maybe a bit cheaper on eBay, and the price of a CDR even cheaper. Namco was well established with 3D fighting games with the Tekken series, and for some reason decided to compete against itself, giving us Soul Calibur. This in my opinion is the better of the two franchises. I only wish the Dreamcast would have stayed alive long enough for us to see the sequel. Oh well, you know what they say.
The legend will never die.
Thanks for watching, and farewell.